Hello, my name is Joe Pressley, and my pronouns are he and him. And I'm so honored to say that I'm the new Chief Executive Officer of the Hetrick-Martin Institute. I wanted to take a moment of reflection after my first week on the job to formally introduce myself and tell you all a bit about why this opportunity is so important to me. And of course, to thank all of you for your continuing support of this most amazing organization. As a black gay man and lifelong New Yorker, born in Bed-Stuy, raised in Crown Heights, and currently living in Fort Greene, I myself have experienced some of the racist and homophobic abuse the young people at HMI still battle every day. Here are just some examples. Some 40 years ago, in the days before there were so many LGBTQ affirming congregations, I felt alone and terrified one Sunday morning as my church's pastor delivered a damning sermon to those in attendance saying gay people were sick, and said that if any gay folks were in his church, then they should get up and leave the church right then and there. I was mortified and hoped and prayed that no one knew that I secretly liked other boys. I had been stopped and questioned by the police while simply playing in the streets of my Crown Heights neighborhood where I grew up. I had feared for my life as I was chased and tormented with violence by people wielding bats and chains simply because of the color of my skin. And earlier in my professional career, I had been confused for the assistant when I was in fact the organization's executive director by someone who never ever even met me, even saying, your boss must be so happy to have such a good employee like yourself giving so much to the organization. These are just some of the injustices I've experienced that have helped make me someone who has dedicated their life's work to doing advocacy with others and making change to dismantle the systems that oppress people and cause tremendous harm. My personal experiences have rooted my belief in building coalitions and getting people to work across their differences and to bring real and meaningful change to communities in need. The road to this moment here at the Hetrick-Martin Institute is a culmination of my life and professional experiences and represents a return to a community that I care so deeply about. I started out in the nonprofit sector as the executive director at both Gay Men of African Descent and at the New York AIDS Coalition, and I've also worked a number of years at Harlem United Community AIDS Center. I spent a number of years in government and now am returning home to the LGBT community, a return that I embrace with so much enthusiasm and excitement. But folks, there was a defining moment that inspired me to seek out this role at HMI. In the summer of 2019, I came to the Grand Army Plaza Brooklyn Public Library to get some work done. And as I was waiting for the doors to open on that library steps that Sunday afternoon with about 36 others, there were two teenage boys harassing another teen boy, calling him all sorts of homophobic and derogatory names. The boy tried to walk away and they followed him, continuing the harassment. It was horrific and literally sent a chill down my spine. I had to say something, prompting others to join in. I get so emotional just thinking about it even now. As I think about that Sunday afternoon, I could still see how terrified the boy was and how relieved he was to have someone speak up for him. I also wondered what was going on for the other young men to wield such terror upon someone. Why would they do such a thing? What issues could they also be wrestling with? I went home that night feeling a level of activism and passion so strong, and I told my husband that I knew I wanted and needed to do more. That young man on the steps of the library made me think about my own life and made me think back to my youth, to me as a young 13-year-old boy sitting in terror as my pastor spewed that hateful and homophobic rhetoric. But as I processed all that happened in front of the library, it also made me think about the things that helped me through the years to become the person I am today. Although I did not come out as a gay man until my mid-20s, it made me grateful for the words of encouragement and affirmation offered by my parents while growing up, saying that you are smart, you will do well, and fight for what you believe in. As an adult, I carried those words with me. As an adult, I'm lucky to have the continued network of care and empowerment today from a caring husband and from a chosen family constellation, a constellation consisting of some amazing relatives and some amazing friends. I wonder if that young man in front of the library that Sunday afternoon had caring adults advocating and rooting for him, giving him strength to exist in a world that still threatens his safety and diminishes his existence. After only just a week at HMI, I can already see that the team works every day to provide that advocacy and affirmation to the youth that make it here through our doors and participate in our programs. In the days since the announcement of my appointment, I've had so many people reach out to tell me how important HMI has been in their lives, how happy it makes them to see the organization they knew more than 40 years ago through its founders, Emory, Hetrick, and Hetrick-Martin, still thriving and serving these wonderful and resilient young people. I wish that I knew about HMI 40 years ago when sitting in my Brooklyn church that Sunday morning. As I spend the next few months taking the time to listen to our youth, the entire HMI staff, and so many stakeholders, I hope to learn more about the incredible legacy of work leading to this point and the opportunities that lay before us. I am both humbled and energized at the thought of where we can go as we look at the years ahead. How can we continue to build on the lessons learned around serving youth virtually during the pandemic to create a more diverse set of program offerings for youth once they can safely re-enter the space here at 2 Astor Place? How can we strengthen and grow the advocacy work to remove barriers to LGBTQ youth as they strive to get the most from society? How can we continue to create meaningful pathways out of poverty for so many of our young people through academic enrichment and career counseling? How can we increase our capacity to meet young people where they are and deliver mental health and physical wellness services to anyone who needs it? And how can we look inward and evaluate and improve our own operations at HMI through the lens of anti-racism, equity, and inclusion so that we are stronger than ever as we continue to live in the singular mission of lifting up and empowering all LGBTQ youth from communities across New York and beyond. So folks, let me tell you. Folks, this is a journey, not a destination. And I'm excited to be on the path with all of you because it will truly take all of us to realize our collective vision of HMI. We need your help. We cannot do it alone. I need you to think about all of the things that brought you to where you are today, all of the successes and challenges that have contributed to the person you are, and all of the helping hands you had along the way. Now you can be that helping hand for our young people. With the generosity of the Charles Hayden Foundation, we have a $50,000 match for donations made during the month of December, and I hope you will dig deep, if you can, and make a gift to HMI this season. I look forward to meeting more of you in person, and I am so honored to be a part of this incredible organization. Please be safe, and wishing you and your loved ones well now and always. All the best to you and yours.